I'm not really sure how to begin this video. I asked you guys last week to leave me advice questions for me to try and answer. I'm not an expert at this sort of thing. I'm just going to give my opinions on what you should do in these situations. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I hope this is helpful. Also, if I didn't answer your question in this video, ask it again in the comments below, because I got questions in the hundreds last week. So obviously I can't answer everyone's question. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. It's literally a case of just trying to choose the questions that I can answer, because again, like I said, I'm not an expert. Right, okay, so let's get on with this week's questions. My friends always pressure me into doing things I don't want to do, like smoking and alcohol. I don't know how to make them stop, and it's beginning to get out of hand. Do you have any advice? I would say genuinely just look them in the eye, don't be shy about it, and just say, I don't want one. Thank you. If it's a drink or if it's a cigarette or if it's drugs, just say, no, I don't want them. I'm just not interested, thank you. And if they're your true friends, they won't take the piss out of you for that. They'll just, accept that you don't want to try that stuff. It doesn't make you uncool. And to be honest, if you've got friends that are trying to pressure you into taking things that you don't want to, are they really your friends? I know exactly how hard it can be to sort of lose people you feel like you're close with, but in the long run, if they're people that aren't good for you, you may be better off just distancing yourself from them. How should I tell my mum I have a girlfriend? By the way, I'm a girl. If you are coming out as gay, I don't think I'm the right person to ask. I get asked this every single time that I make a video. How do I come out to my parents? I've never had to come out to my parents or anything, so I'm not I think it'd be wrong if I tried to give advice on coming out, because I haven't gone through it. What I will do is I will try and find my favourite sort of coming out videos and the most useful ones, and I will leave them in the comments, I'll leave them in the description below so you guys can check them out. Because like I said, they're actually from people's experiences and I don't have any experiences, so I'm sorry, I can't help. And if anyone asks in the future, like, how do I come out, I can't answer that. I'm sorry. I'm 14, I've started to get discharged, but I haven't had a period. I don't know how long till my period will start, but I'm very worried about telling my mum when the time comes. Any tips? Why are you worried? Your mum also has a period. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It means that you're growing up. You're going through puberty, and it's a natural thing. So you really don't have anything to be worried about because she's been through it. I suppose if you're really too afraid for some reason to tell your mum that you started your periods, perhaps there's an aunt or a grandmother you can ask, or even a teacher. That sounds really embarrassing, but get your teacher on their own, because, well, I mean, especially if they have a vagina, then they will have experience with periods and they'll be able to help you. Also, with the whole discharge thing, like, that is a natural thing for people with vaginas to go through, especially when you're about 13, 14, 15. You will get it in sort of irregular bursts, and you'll feel like, oh my god, I've ruined my underwear. So I would advise wearing panty liners at all times, because you just don't know. It's not like a period where you can just expect it to happen. It does just come in random bursts. So, not bursts, it doesn't go psh, but it's not like a Spider-Man. I'm gonna stop. Are you naturally thin, or do you do any kind of special diet or exercise? I had a whole 10-inch pizza to myself for lunch, so it's definitely a special diet. No, I think I just have a very good metabolism. I've tried dieting in the past, and I have found diets that have worked, but to be honest, I think a lot of my weight management is because I do have a high metabolism. I just don't really gain weight, and that's, that unless I have like tons and tons and tons of sugar and fat, like, I just don't gain weight. So I don't do anything to keep myself slim, but I would recommend for metabolism. I made a whole video on herbal teas, and they can help to control your metabolism, so can't speak today. How do you begin to trust someone again after being cheated on? I have never been cheated on that I know of, but honestly, I couldn't trust someone again if they cheated on me. I wouldn't be able to go back to them because I know what they're capable of. I guess if you really love them and you want to make it work, then you both need to sit down and talk about why that person cheated on you. Were they unhappy, or did they just find that other person more attractive? But essentially, if someone cheats on you and it's not just a drunken kiss or something, if it's a conscious decision that they've made, that is just complete disrespect to you. So I personally think that once someone's cheated, you can't really go back. So again, it's hard to give advice on something that I haven't gone through, but I would say just end it. I've really wanted a baby for ages. It's recently got worse because my auntie's just had a baby. I don't know what to do because I'm only 16 and I'm scared I'll try to get myself pregnant. Oh, well, I have a lot of friends who got pregnant at 16 and they now have children and they're very happy. But I would suggest, naturally, I would suggest holding off for a little while. I guess if you're really, really broody, which is a natural thing, I guess if you're really broody, perhaps try and offer to look after your aunt's baby for a couple of nights, because I'm pretty sure the 3 a.m. feeds will soon put you off having children. But if that doesn't work and you end up getting more broody, what I would say is make a list of all the things that you want to do before you have a baby, such as like what countries you want to visit and get a full-time job and find a boyfriend, get married, have all this list of things that you can tick off, and then once you've ticked it off, then think about having babies. But I would say, like, once you have children, it becomes very difficult to live your own life in terms of going on holiday and just going out when you want. Your whole life is dictated by your baby. You will lose a lot of the freedom that you had before. So I would definitely think about it, and also remember that your baby needs to have a really happy environment, a mum that's sort of, you know, got a steady job and has steady relationships around her, has a steady home, has people, well, you know, I don't think it's best just to get pregnant because you want a baby just like that. Especially if you're saying you're going to try and get yourself pregnant. I mean, that would probably end up deceiving the father of the child as well. So I would just make a list and wait a little while. I have anxiety and it stops me from doing lots of things I want to do, such as traveling to different places of the world. Do you have any tips on how to prevent me being so anxious all the time? I get asked questions on anxiety 24/7 because you guys know that I had a specialised type of anxiety / panic disorder. So what I would say is that I am not going to be able to answer all of your questions on anxiety because I didn't have generalised anxiety disorder. I didn't have social anxiety. I had something that was quite close to what you'd call separation anxiety, which is having sort of anxiety attacks brought on by not being with someone or not being able to get a hold of someone. And I had anxiety from not being able to get through to my mum and dad on the phone. I would think, oh my God, are they dead? Are they okay? What's going on? Are they ill? And it would cause anxiety attacks, and I would need to rush outside. I would feel very, very sick. My stomach would do flips, and I would need to poop, because they are natural, you know, symptoms of an anxiety attack. So, I don't really know what I can suggest. I would say do what I did and definitely get some counselling for it. I saw a guy for one session and he said, I'm going to put you on these tablets, and within about 2 months, I'm pretty much, my anxiety is quite low now. I still get it. I still wouldn't be able to travel long distances like Australia or stay in America for more than 2 weeks or so, but it is getting better. So I would suggest going to a doctor even and just asking to be put on anti-anxiety medication. I'm on something called citalopram, I believe it's called. I'm only on about 10 micrograms, so it's quite small. And obviously that amount can get raised or lowered, but like I said, I would find it very hard to give advice on general anxiety or social anxiety, so I probably won't be able to answer any of those questions if you leave them down below, because I feel like I'm giving the wrong advice. But I would definitely say get counselling, and they'll be able to find out the cause of your anxiety and hopefully help you through it. I lost my first ever job 2 weeks ago for being too nice, and it's left me feeling a little lost and unconfident. Advice on how to move on. If you lost your job from being too nice, you are an amazing person, and that's the best way you could possibly get fired. Like, wow. How can you get... I mean, that says to me that the job that you had was not good for you in the first place, because it meant that you would have had to deceive people, or your generosity was costing them money, and that's horrible. So find a job, look for a job that specialises in being generous to people, even if you're volunteering in a charity shop for a little while or something that you can actually, where you can help people, like a call centre or something like that. Just but definitely keep your head held high, because that's the stupidest thing you can get fired for. And I'd even challenge that. I would say that is worth perhaps investigating as to why you got fired, and possibly take that to a tribunal, because I don't think that's a very good reason for you to lose your job. How do you stop thinking negatively about yourself? I seem to be doing this a lot. It's almost like I cannot accept compliments in a way. I know a lot of people who I would compliment and then they'd go, no, I'm not, and they get really, really angry when someone compliments them. And I think it's just a case of low self-esteem and not believing that that person thinks nice things of you because you don't believe them yourself, so you think that they're lying. I would say, I did make a video in a Feel Good 101 series about feeling good about yourself, and I said, write a list of all the things that you don't like about yourself and write a list of all the things that you do like about yourself. This time, just focus on the things that you do like about yourself, because I'm sure if you look hard enough, you will find stuff that you are proud of yourself for. You might have a really strong will, so you might be quite stubborn, but in a good way. You might be funny. You might like your hair. So think of all the things that you could compliment yourself on, and then eventually you might learn to be able to accept things because you'll think, actually, yeah, you know what? My hair does look good today. And finally, I can't stop thinking about my past. Every time I find myself being happy, I just start thinking about it and then it ruins my day completely. What should I do? Obviously, I don't know your past. I don't know what it is that you've been through that is traumatizing you and affecting your current situation. But I would say, again, just like I said with anxiety, definitely seek counselling. There are, especially in the UK, I think you can get free counselling if it's something that's very, very bad. Basically, counselling will help you find out the cause of your pain and past, and I'm assuming that you obviously know what it is that is troubling you. But it will help to have someone to talk you through what happened to you. Because essentially there's something that is still in the back of your mind that is affecting you, and it will keep eating away at you until you're able to confront it head on, which will obviously be quite scary at first because you'll think, well, I don't want to think about that, I'm trying not to think about that, but the more you think like that, the more it's going to come back into your mind when you least expect it. So definitely find someone like a doctor or a counsellor that you can talk to about it, even a family member if it doesn't obviously involve family, and just basically make it easier for you to accept that it's a part of your life, it's something that happened, and it's what's made you who you are today. So basically just become familiar with what happened, and eventually I think you'll be less afraid of it coming up in everyday situations. So that's all I have time for on this advice video. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. Leave your questions in the comments down below if you want me to answer them, if you think I have any good advice for you. Again, I'm not professional, so I'm sorry if this advice doesn't work for you, but this is just, I assume, what I would do in those situations. So I hope you have a good one, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye!